Welcome back to our channel. Take a moment and ask yourself a simple question. Are you truly becoming the person you want to be? Or are you still living as the same person you were years ago? The truth is that most people want a better life, but very few are willing to become a better version of themselves. They want confidence, but they don't change their habits. They want success, but they don't change their mindset. They want respect, but they don't improve themselves. And because nothing changes inside them, nothing changes around them. But what if you decided that today was the day everything started to change? What if you stopped waiting for a new year, a new month, or the perfect moment? What if you decided to reinvent yourself right now? Not by pretending to be someone else, not by copying other people, but by becoming the strongest, healthiest, wisest, and most confident version of yourself. Because reinvention is not about changing who you are. It is about removing the habits, fears, doubts, and limitations that are stopping you from becoming who you are capable of being. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to reinvent yourself both externally and internally. We will discuss how to improve your appearance, build a stronger mindset, stop overthinking, trust the process, listen to your intuition, practice gratitude, stay calm under pressure, forgive yourself, and truly value yourself. These are not quick fixes. These are life-changing principles that can completely transform the way you think, feel, act, and live. If you apply these lessons consistently, one day you will look back and realize that you are no longer the same person. You are stronger. You are wiser, you are more confident, and most importantly, you have become the person you always wanted to be. So stay with me until the end, because this video might be the beginning of a completely new chapter in your life. Now let's begin. Lesson 1. Transform your appearance and take care of yourself. If you want to reinvent yourself, the first place to start is with yourself. Many people want a new life, new opportunities, and more confidence, but they ignore the person they see in the mirror every day. The truth is that reinventing yourself does not always begin with a huge life change. Sometimes it begins with small daily actions that slowly transform the way you look, feel, and carry yourself. When people hear the phrase, "take care of yourself," they often think it is only about looking attractive. But it is much deeper than that. Taking care of yourself is a sign of self-respect. It is a message you send to yourself every day that says, "I matter. My health matters. My future matters. I am worth taking care of." Let's start with your body. Your body is the place where you will spend your entire life. You cannot trade it for a new one. You cannot replace it. That is why taking care of your body should be a priority. You do not need a perfect body. You do not need to look like a model. You simply need to become healthier than you were yesterday. Start moving your body every day. Walk more. Exercise regularly. Stretch. Stay active. A strong body creates more energy. More energy creates better habits. Better habits create a better life. Many people say they want confidence, but they ignore their physical health. The reality is that when you feel physically stronger, you often feel mentally stronger too. Now let's talk about your hair, nails, and skin. These may seem like small details, but small details matter. People notice them. More importantly, you notice them. When your hair is clean and well-maintained, you feel more presentable. When your nails are clean, you feel more organized. When you take care of your skin, you feel fresher and more confident. The goal is not perfection. The goal is self-care. Many people wait until they feel good before they take care of themselves. Successful people often do the opposite. They take care of themselves first, and then they start feeling better. Never underestimate the power of looking in the mirror and feeling proud of the effort you are making. Now let's talk about something many people ignore. Smell. Always smell good. This does not mean buying expensive products. It simply means being clean, fresh, and hygienic. Good hygiene affects how you feel about yourself. When you feel fresh, you often feel more confident. When you feel more confident, you interact with people differently. Confidence often begins with simple habits. Next, let's discuss clothing. Many people believe they need expensive clothes to reinvent themselves. That is not true. A person can wear simple clothes and still look confident and attractive. Choose clean, comfortable clothing that fits well. Comfort is important because when you feel comfortable, you feel more relaxed and natural. You should not spend your day worrying about uncomfortable shoes, tight clothes, or outfits that make you feel awkward. Choose comfort over style when possible. Confidence always looks better than discomfort. Neutral colors are also a smart choice. Colors like black, white, gray, navy, and beige are simple, timeless, and easy to match. They create a clean and organized appearance. You do not need a closet full of clothes. You need a few good choices that make you feel comfortable and confident. But remember something important. Your appearance is only the beginning. The purpose of improving your appearance is not to impress other people. The purpose is to build a stronger relationship with yourself. Many people spend years criticizing themselves. They focus on every flaw. They focus on everything they dislike. Instead, start focusing on improvement, not perfection. Improvement. Maybe today you drink more water. Maybe tomorrow you go for a walk. Maybe next week you create a healthier routine. Small improvements create powerful results over time. Think about a person who spends 1 year consistently taking care of their body, health, hygiene, and appearance. Now compare that person to someone who ignores those things completely. The difference will be enormous. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because daily habits compound over time. Reinventing yourself is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming the best version of who you already are. Every healthy meal, every workout, every walk, every grooming habit, every small act of self-care is a vote for the person you want to become. So start today. Take care of your body. Take care of your health. Take care of your appearance, not because you need approval from others, but because you deserve to feel strong, confident, healthy, and proud of yourself. The journey of reinventing yourself begins the moment you decide that you are worth the effort. Lesson 2. Feed your mind with growth. If taking care of your appearance helps transform you externally, then feeding your mind with growth helps transform you internally. Many people want a better life, but they continue filling their minds with the same thoughts, the same habits, and the same information every day. Then they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is simple. Your life often grows in the direction that your mind grows. If you want to reinvent yourself, you must start learning, improving, and expanding your thinking. One of the most powerful habits you can build is reading self-improvement books every day. Books are like conversations with people who have already traveled further down the road of life. They share their mistakes. They share their lessons. They share their wisdom. and they allow you to learn without making every mistake yourself. Think about it. A person may spend 20 years learning valuable life lessons. You can learn those lessons in a few days by reading their book. That is the power of reading. Many successful people have one habit in common. They never stop learning. No matter how successful they become, they continue reading, studying, and growing. They understand that growth is not a destination. Growth is a lifestyle. Now, you do not need to read hundreds of pages every day. You do not need to finish a book every week. Start small. Read 5 pages, read 10 pages, read for 15 minutes. The goal is not speed. The goal is consistency. A few pages every day may not seem important, but after 1 year, those pages become several books, and those books can completely change the way you think. Many people spend hours every day consuming entertainment. There is nothing wrong with entertainment. But if all you consume is entertainment, your mind never grows. Imagine 2 people. The first person spends 1 hour every day learning something useful. The second person spends that same hour doing nothing that helps them grow. At first, there is no visible difference. After a month, there is still little difference. After a year, the difference becomes enormous. One person has new knowledge, new skills, and a stronger mindset. The other person remains in the same place. Growth compounds over time. Just like money grows through compound interest, knowledge grows through consistent learning. Every new idea changes the way you see the world. Every lesson improves your decision-making. Every book expands your perspective. This is why reading is one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself. But growth is not only about books. Growth is also about being curious. Ask questions. Observe successful people. Learn from your mistakes. Stay open-minded. Be willing to change your opinions when you learn something new. Many people stop growing because they think they already know everything. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. The most successful people often remain students for life. They never assume they have all the answers. They continue improving. They continue learning. They continue evolving. Another important part of reinventing yourself is replacing negative information with positive information. Many people fill their minds with fear, gossip, complaints, and negativity. Then they wonder why they feel negative. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant grows. If you plant negative thoughts, negative emotions will grow. If you plant positive and empowering ideas, positive growth will follow. That is why you must be careful about what you allow into your mind. Choose information that helps you become stronger. Choose ideas that inspire action. Choose content that teaches valuable lessons. Every day, ask yourself, what did I learn today? What idea improved my thinking? How did I grow today? These questions keep your mind focused on progress. Remember, reinventing yourself is not only about changing how you look, it is about changing how you think. Your thoughts create your actions. Your actions create your habits. Your habits create your future. The person you become tomorrow is being shaped by what you learn today. So make learning a daily habit. Read self-improvement books. Study useful ideas. Stay curious. Keep an open mind. Invest in your growth. Because when your mind grows, your life grows with it. And the strongest transformation always begins from the inside. Lesson 3. Stop overthinking and trust the process. One of the biggest obstacles to reinventing yourself is not lack of talent lack of opportunity, or lack of intelligence. It is overthinking. Many people do not fail because they take the wrong action. They fail because they take no action at all. They spend so much time thinking, worrying, analyzing, and doubting that they never actually move forward. They want to start a business, but they overthink every possible problem. They want to improve their health, but they spend months planning instead of exercising. They want to learn English, but they keep waiting until they feel completely ready. The truth is that you will never have all the answers before you begin. Life does not work that way. Imagine a person standing at the bottom of a staircase in complete darkness. They can only see the first step. Most people refuse to move because they cannot see the entire staircase. But successful people take the first step anyway. And once they take that step, they can see the next one. Then the next. Then the next. Progress often reveals itself only after action is taken. This is why overthinking is so dangerous. Overthinking creates the illusion of progress. You feel busy because your mind is working constantly. You feel productive because you are analyzing every possibility. But thinking alone does not change your life. Action changes your life. Many people spend years trapped inside their own minds. They replay conversations. They worry about mistakes. They imagine worst-case scenarios. They fear things that have not even happened yet. As a result, they become mentally exhausted. The problem is that most of these worries never become reality. Think about how many things you worried about 5 years ago. Many of them never happened. Yet they stole your peace, your energy, and your attention. That is the cost of overthinking. You suffer twice. First in your imagination, then sometimes in reality. And often the reality is much easier than what you imagined. This is why you must learn to trust the process. Trusting the process means accepting that growth takes time. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, you take care of it. But after one day, nothing appears. After 1 week, nothing appears. Would you dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing? Of course not. You trust the process. You continue watering it because you know growth is happening beneath the surface. Your personal growth works exactly the same way. When you start exercising, results take time. When you start learning English, fluency takes time. When you start building confidence, change takes time. Many people quit because they expect immediate success. They want visible results after only a few days. When those results do not appear, they become discouraged. But transformation is usually slow before it becomes visible. The strongest changes often happen quietly. Every workout strengthens your body. Every page you read strengthens your mind. Every English sentence you practice strengthens your skills. Even when you cannot see the results immediately, progress is happening. Trust the process. Another reason people overthink is because they are afraid of making mistakes. They want everything to be perfect. They want the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. But perfection does not exist. If you wait for perfect conditions, you may spend your entire life waiting. Successful people understand something important. Done is better than perfect. Progress is better than perfection. Growth comes through action, not endless preparation. Every mistake teaches a lesson. Every failure provides experience. Every challenge builds strength. The people who reinvent themselves are not people who never make mistakes. They are people who keep moving forward despite mistakes. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. Nobody learns without falling. Nobody becomes skilled without struggling. The falls are part of the process. The mistakes are part of the process. The same is true for every area of life. So stop expecting a perfect journey. Expect a real journey. A journey that includes challenges, setbacks, victories, and lessons. A journey that helps you become stronger. Every morning, remind yourself, I do not need all the answers today. I only need to take the next step. I will stop overthinking. I will trust the process. I will focus on progress. These simple reminders can help free you from the mental prison of overthinking. Remember, the goal is not to control every outcome. The goal is to keep moving forward. You do not need to know exactly how everything will work out. You simply need the courage to take the next step, because life rewards action. Growth rewards patience. And the person who trusts the process long enough often achieves things that once seemed impossible. So stop overanalyzing every detail. Stop waiting for perfection. Take action. Trust the process. And allow time to work in your favor, because your future is built by consistent action, not endless overthinking. Lesson 4. Listen to your intuition, and listen first, then speak. One of the most important parts of reinventing yourself is learning to trust your intuition and becoming a better listener. Many people spend their entire lives listening to everyone except themselves. They listen to strangers. They listen to critics. They listen to negative opinions. They listen to fear. But they rarely stop and listen to their own inner voice. Your intuition is that quiet feeling inside you that often knows the right direction before your mind can explain it. It is not magic. It is the result of your experiences, observations, and lessons working together beneath the surface. Have you ever met someone and immediately felt that something was not right? Have you ever felt strongly that you should take a certain opportunity? Have you ever ignored that feeling and later wished you had listened? Most people have experienced moments like these. The problem is that many people constantly silence their intuition because they doubt themselves. They believe everyone else knows better. As a result, they lose trust in their own judgment. Reinventing yourself requires rebuilding that trust. This does not mean acting on every emotion. It means learning to pay attention to the signals your mind and heart are giving you. Imagine a person who wants to start a new chapter in life. Deep inside, they know they need change. They know their current habits are holding them back. They know they should take action. But they keep ignoring that feeling because change feels uncomfortable. Years pass. Nothing improves. The intuition was there all along. The courage to listen was missing. Many of life's biggest regrets come from ignoring what we already knew deep down. That is why you should spend time in silence. Spend time thinking. Spend time reflecting. Give yourself an opportunity to hear your own thoughts. The modern world is full of noise. People are constantly distracted by phones, notifications, entertainment, and endless information. Because of this, many people never hear their own inner voice. But growth often begins in moments of quiet reflection. When you slow down, you begin noticing things that were invisible before. You begin understanding yourself more clearly. You begin recognizing what truly matters. You begin making decisions that align with your values instead of other people's expectations. Now let's talk about another powerful habit. Listen first, then speak. This single habit can transform your relationships, your communication skills, and your personal growth. Most people listen only long enough to prepare their response. They're not truly listening. While someone else is speaking, they're already thinking about what they want to say next. As a result, they miss important information. Great communicators do something different. They listen carefully. They focus completely on the other person. They try to understand before trying to be understood. This skill is rare. And because it is rare, it is incredibly valuable. Think about how good it feels when someone genuinely listens to you. They do not interrupt. They do not rush to give advice. They simply listen. You feel respected. You feel valued. You feel understood. That is the impact of good listening. People often assume that powerful communication comes from speaking more. In reality, powerful communication often comes from listening more. The more you listen, the more you learn. The more you listen, the better your responses become. The more you listen, the stronger your relationships become. Listening also helps you avoid unnecessary problems. Many arguments happen because people react before fully understanding the situation. They interrupt, they assume, they jump to conclusions. If they had listened a little longer, the conflict could have been avoided. A calm listener often learns more than a loud speaker. This is especially true when learning from successful people. When you meet someone who has achieved something you admire, listen carefully. Pay attention to their experiences. Pay attention to their mistakes. Pay attention to their lessons. Every person has something valuable to teach you, but you can only learn it if you are willing to listen. As you reinvent yourself, make these two habits part of your daily life. Trust your intuition. Listen first, then speak. Before making important decisions, pause and ask yourself, what is my intuition telling me? Before responding in a conversation, pause and ask yourself, have I truly listened? These simple questions can improve the quality of your decisions in your relationships. Every morning, remind yourself, I trust myself. I listen to my intuition. I listen carefully. I seek understanding. I speak thoughtfully. These habits may seem simple, but simple habits practiced consistently create extraordinary results. The strongest people are not always the loudest. The wisest people are often the best listeners. And the people who trust their intuition while remaining open to learning from others often create the most meaningful and successful lives. So slow down. Listen more. Speak with intention. Trust your inner wisdom. And allow these habits to guide your transformation into a stronger, wiser, and more confident version of yourself. Lesson 5. Practice gratitude and remain calm and composed. If you want to reinvent yourself, you must learn two powerful skills that can completely change the quality of your life. Practice gratitude. Remain calm and composed. These habits may sound simple, but they separate people who constantly struggle from people who live with peace, strength, and emotional stability. Let's start with gratitude. Most people spend their lives focusing on what is missing. They focus on the things they do not have, the money they have not earned, the success they have not achieved, the opportunities they missed, the goals they have not reached. As a result, they constantly feel dissatisfied. Even when good things happen, they quickly move on and start focusing on the next thing they want. This creates a cycle where happiness always feels out of reach. The problem is not always a lack of blessings. The problem is often a lack of appreciation. Imagine two people with very similar lives. The first person constantly complains. They complain about the weather. They complain about their job. They complain about their problems. They complain about their situation. The second person faces many of the same challenges, but they regularly focus on what they are grateful for. They appreciate their health. They appreciate their family. They appreciate their opportunities. They appreciate the lessons they learn. Which person is likely to feel happier? The second person. Not because life is easier, but because their attention is focused differently. Gratitude changes what you notice. When you practice gratitude, you begin seeing things you previously ignored. You notice the people who care about you. You notice the opportunities around you. You notice the progress you have already made. You notice the simple joys of everyday life. Many people are waiting for something big to happen before they allow themselves to feel grateful. They say, "I'll be grateful when I become successful. I'll be grateful when I make more money. I'll be grateful when life becomes easier." But gratitude works best in the opposite direction. You become grateful first. Then life feels richer and more meaningful. One simple habit can make a huge difference. Every day, ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? The answer does not need to be complicated. Maybe you are grateful for your health. Maybe you are grateful for a good friend. Maybe you are grateful for the opportunity to learn. Maybe you are grateful for a peaceful evening. Small blessings still matter. The more you practice gratitude, the more naturally positive your mindset becomes. Now let's talk about remaining calm and composed. Life will never be completely free of problems. There will always be challenges. There will always be setbacks. There will always be difficult people. There will always be situations that test your patience. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. This is where calmness becomes a superpower. Most people react immediately when something goes wrong. Someone criticizes them. They become angry. Someone disagrees with them. They become defensive. Something unexpected happens. They panic. Their emotions control them. But emotionally strong people respond differently. They pause. They breathe. They think before reacting. They remain calm even when situations become difficult. This does not mean they never feel emotions. It means they do not allow emotions to control their actions. Imagine a storm in the middle of the ocean. The waves are crashing. The wind is strong. Everything feels chaotic. Now imagine a lighthouse standing calmly on the shore. The storm cannot move it. The waves cannot shake it. The lighthouse remains steady. That is how you should strive to become. Life's storms will come. Problems will appear. People will disappoint you. Things will not always go according to plan. But your goal is to remain steady. Calmness allows you to make better decisions. Calmness helps you think clearly. Calmness protects your energy. Calmness prevents small problems from becoming bigger problems. Many regrets happen because people react emotionally in the moment. They say things they do not mean. They make decisions they later regret. They allow temporary emotions to create long-term consequences. A calm mind creates better outcomes. This is why successful people often appear composed under pressure. They understand that panic does not solve problems. Clear thinking does. Every morning, remind yourself, I am grateful for what I have. I focus on my blessings. I remain calm under pressure. I choose peace over chaos. I respond thoughtfully. I control my reactions. These simple reminders help train your mind. Remember, gratitude helps you appreciate your life. Calmness helps you navigate your life. Together, they create a powerful combination. One helps you enjoy the present. The other helps you handle challenges wisely. As you continue reinventing yourself, make gratitude and calmness daily habits. Notice the good. Appreciate the small things. Protect your peace. Stay composed when life becomes difficult, because a grateful heart and a calm mind are two of the greatest strengths a person can develop. And those strengths will help you build a happier, wiser, and more fulfilling life. Lesson 6. Forgive yourself and value yourself. The final step in reinventing yourself is one of the most important and one of the most difficult. Forgive yourself. Value yourself. Many people want a new life, but they keep carrying the weight of their old life. They carry old mistakes. They carry old failures. They carry old regrets. They carry guilt, shame, disappointment, and self-criticism everywhere they go. As a result, even when they try to move forward, the past keeps pulling them backward. Think about this. How can you create a new version of yourself if you are still punishing yourself for the person you used to be? The truth is that every human being makes mistakes. Every successful person has failed. Every confident person has felt insecure. Every strong person has experienced weakness. Nobody gets through life without making bad decisions. Nobody gets through life without regrets. The difference is that successful people learn from their mistakes, while many others become trapped by them. Imagine a person who made a mistake 5 years ago. Every day they replay it in their mind. Every day they criticize themselves. Every day they remind themselves of what they did wrong. 5 years later, the mistake has already happened. But they are still suffering from it because they refuse to let it go. The mistake hurt them once. Their refusal to forgive themselves hurts them every day afterward. This is why forgiveness is so powerful. Forgiveness does not mean pretending that nothing happened. Forgiveness does not mean avoiding responsibility. Forgiveness means accepting what happened, learning from it, and allowing yourself to move forward. You cannot change yesterday. You cannot rewrite the past. You cannot go back and make different choices. But you can decide what you do today. You can decide who you become tomorrow. The past is a lesson. It is not a life sentence. Many people treat themselves more harshly than they would ever treat a friend. If a friend made a mistake, you would probably encourage them. You would probably say, "Learn from it. Everyone makes mistakes. Keep moving forward." But when it comes to yourself, you may say, "I am a failure. I will never change. I do not deserve success." This kind of self-talk destroys confidence. It destroys growth. It destroys peace. You must learn to speak to yourself with kindness and honesty. Not because you are perfect, but because you are human. Every mistake contains a lesson. Every setback contains wisdom. Every failure contains experience. The people who reinvent themselves are not people who never fail. They are people who refuse to let failure define them. Now let's talk about valuing yourself. Many people spend their entire lives looking for value in the wrong places. They look for value in other people's approval. They look for value in social media attention. They look for value in status, money, or popularity. But true self-worth comes from within. Your value does not increase when someone praises you. Your value does not decrease when someone criticizes you. Your value exists because you exist. You are a human being with potential, abilities, dreams, and purpose. When you truly value yourself, you stop accepting things that constantly damage your well-being. You stop allowing negative people to control your emotions. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop speaking badly about yourself. You start taking care of your mind, your body, and your future. You start making decisions that support your growth. Valuing yourself is not arrogance. It is self-respect. Arrogance says, I am better than everyone. Self-respect says, I deserve to be treated well, including by myself. There is a huge difference. When you value yourself, you invest in yourself. You learn new skills. You improve your health. You develop better habits. You protect your peace. You work toward meaningful goals. Because you believe you are worth the effort. Imagine where your life could be 1 year from now if you truly forgave yourself and started valuing yourself today. Imagine how much energy you would gain if you stopped fighting with your past. Imagine how much confidence you would gain if you stopped waiting for other people's approval. Imagine how much peace you would feel if you accepted yourself while continuing to improve yourself. That is the power of self-forgiveness and self-worth. Every morning, remind yourself, I forgive myself. I learn from my mistakes. My past does not define me. I am worthy of growth. I am worthy of success. I respect myself. I value myself. I am becoming the best version of myself. As we complete this journey of reinventing yourself, remember this. Reinvention is not about becoming someone else. It is about uncovering the strongest, wisest, healthiest, and most confident version of who you already are. Take care of your appearance. Feed your mind. Stop overthinking. Trust the process. Listen to your intuition. Practice gratitude. Remain calm. Forgive yourself. Value yourself. And continue growing every single day. Because the person you become in the future is created by the choices you make today. And your best version is still waiting to be discovered. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Remember, reinventing yourself does not happen overnight. It happens one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one day at a time. Many people spend years waiting for their life to change, but they never realize that real change begins when they decide to change themselves. The version of you that you dream about already exists in your mind. The confident version, the disciplined version, the healthy version, the calm version, the successful version. The only difference is that this version of you is built through daily actions. Every time you take care of yourself, you are reinventing yourself. Every time you read instead of wasting time, you are reinventing yourself. Every time you stop overthinking and take action, you are reinventing yourself. Every time you trust the process, practice gratitude, forgive yourself, and choose growth over excuses, you are becoming a new person. Do not expect perfection. Do not expect instant results. Just keep improving, keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing in the person you are capable of becoming. 1 year from now, your life can be completely different. Your mindset can be different. Your habits can be different. Your confidence can be different. But only if you start today. The future version of you is depending on the choices you make right now. So choose growth, choose discipline, choose self-respect, choose yourself. If this video helped you, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who wants to improve their life, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful lessons on self-growth, confidence, success, and personal transformation. Take care of yourself. Believe in yourself. Keep becoming better every day. And remember, you do not need a new life. You need a new version of yourself. See you in the next video.